Hey y'all, Sarah Rodridge Farm, and today we are getting these onions in the ground. Well, in the raised bed ground. Anyhow, I've got the bed filled in and everything, and I've got onion sets I had ordered offline. And I'm going to do a couple of them with the muffin pan method just to see how it works. And then I'm going to plant some further apart so I can get some bigger onions. But let me show you what I got going on here. Okay, anyhow, raised bed. I got some loaded up lettuce over here. I got to get a good drink where I thinned out my planter in the house. This is all leveled out pretty much. I'm gonna put some spinach over here on this end. That way I got the makings of a salad almost going. But this will be green onions. I bought these here. They're the yellow onion from Burgess. The 50 count yellow onion sets. So anyhow, I'm going to plant them for green onions, but then I'm going to try to let some get bigger. Hopefully that'll work for me. But I guess let's get it started and get these things in the dirt. Okay, so with onions, it's just like anything else you plant. You got, okay, so I got my onion set here. So see, you got your little roots down here on the very bottom. You can see them there. And then this here will be where the green grows up at. Like the one that's already grown for me here. So when I plant it, this will go directly in the dirt like so. And you know, it don't matter really the depth. You don't want them to be super deep. That way they ain't gonna work so hard, but you want them in there deep enough that they're covered. So I'm gonna do a couple with the muffin pan, and then the rest of them I'm gonna do just willy-nilly placing them, and then I'm gonna put the ones I want to get bigger. I'm gonna put some on the back here, and then I'll also put some in the ground, just so they may have a better chance. I don't know. Everything's a science experiment with me. My kid's running away. Ain't about to be doing no work today, she says. But let's get some of these going here. Get my muffin pan. Okay, so anyhow, I guess this just marks placement or something. Shoot, I don't know. My dirt's too bloody hard. Can you see it a little bit? Not really well, because I can't even hardly see it very well. And I'm right here doing it. So anyhow, I guess I don't even know who had this idea. Everybody's like, it's genius. It works so well. So, yeah, sure. Anyhow, just make your hole. I'm not going to use that pan. This dirt's too, whatever. Make your hole. Put it right down in there. Like I said, it ain't got to be super deep. This one's already growing. So that's a given. But yeah, so anyhow, just put it in, cover it over. Simple. For green onions, they ain't going to need a lot of space. But for the bigger onions, they're going to need more space, and they're also going to need a looser soil so that they can get, have room to grow. So I'm going to have to do some loosening up back there before I go crazy up here with all of these. But anyhow, let's see, so you can see what I'm doing here. Just pretty much loosen it up some, and then you just shove it down in there and cover it over. Guess the muffin pan's at least good for holding the sets for me. Easy access that away. Make a hole. And then put it in the ground. But yep. Let's see. Yeah, this is super fantastic here. This dirt's hard. Let me get it worked up a little more. Okay, so anyhow, I went through and loosened up some of this here soil in the back. That way it's good and workable. Sorry about my faces I'm making. This is how I garden, I guess. Anyhow, it's looser back here in the back. So that's where I'm going to put the big onions, the sets I want to be big onions. I went and took my trusty marker knife out of the garlic bed because, well, they're up. I know what's where. And I'm marking them with this as a mark to know. This is Mom's big onions. Leave them alone. Because my son will pick this bed clean, given the opportunity. So back here, plant it just exactly the same, but they'll have more space around them versus, not. as, you know, well, not as close. Keeping plenty of room off the wall, about 5 inches off the wall back here. I mean, I don't know how big this is going to get. We'll see, I guess. And then, in my guesstimation, do another one here. Which, again, is why I'm marking them. But, yep. Bust up any clumps. Make sure the dirt's good and loose. I'll put good, healthy looking ones back in there. So, knife it and then cover it over. Simple as that. But, anyhow, and then over here, you can see I kind of went through and just pre-poked a few holes, and then literally, they just sit right down in there. You can't hardly mess an onion up. I mean, you probably could, but it's hard to do. You plant them in your pots or whatever else you got going on in the house even. But, yep, so anyhow, that's 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 planted so far. I think you get the gist of what I'm getting at here. And then after I get them all in the ground here, I'm going to get them a good watering, and then I'll move some to the actual garden spot too and see how they do there. And then I will make my notes like I always do. One day I'll go over all of that with you and let you see the way I anally write down everything. But for now, that's how you put an onion in the ground. Onion set in the ground. Okay, so I got the whole bed planted. I got 6 markers for big onions, so it's clearly not going to be enough. But then again, it's kind of me figuring this part out because I never could get real decent onions last year. So everything else is planted. Now I'm fixing to water it, and then this job is done, and I can take it off my list also.